been widely reported that South Africa is the second most stressed country in the world. Joining me in studio is Batch practitioner Marilyn Moore. She's going to give us some ways to deal with stress and anxiety and unpack why South Africans are feeling so stressed. Hello.
Hello, thank you for having me on your show.
Thank you for coming in. Now, I introduced you as a Batch practitioner. For people who don't know what Batch is or what a Batch practitioner does, why don't you tell us?
Okay. Dr. Edward Batch was a Harley Street surgeon over 80 years ago, and he realized that by treating people on the operating table, if he'd actually spoken to them many years before, it probably wouldn't have developed into surgery. In other words, he is saying that emotions are very powerful over the physiological, and therefore he took time out from his Harley Street practice and developed these 38 remedies, which work with the 38 remedies known to man and to animals. So there is a remedy out there for every single emotion that we suffer from.
Wow, and they're all natural remedies.
All natural flower remedies, yes.
Interesting. Now, I want to talk about what you do a little bit more, but first, why do you think South Africa is such a stressed out country?
Well, there are many reasons. I think politically, it's uppermost in everybody's mind at the moment. I mean, you have dinner parties, and that seems to be the main topic of conversation. I think also people work really hard in this country and have a very, very busy life. They don't actually stop and smell the roses. That's the problem. People are on the go the entire time. And there is a lot of stress around, a lot of stress. There's pressure, there's competition. People are very competitive in this country. And all those things can cause stress.
Now, we're talking about competition, politics, our environment. It doesn't seem like these things are very easy to change. How do we deal with the stress that comes along with these factors that you've just mentioned?
You're right. We actually cannot change too many of these things. So we have to learn to deal with them. And we have to look within ourselves to see how we can deal with those things. No, we can't change them. We'd like to. There's a lot of things that we'd like to change, but we can't.
If I could change everything I wanted to change, geez, I'd be a happy woman.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Now, we're talking about stress, anxiety, and depression today. I think these three things usually are bunched into one definition, but there are different definitions for all of them.
100%. I mean, stress and anxiety are quite different. Stress is the pressure and tension that we actually put upon ourselves. And it's usually something to do with mental or emotional problems. And also, I almost call it feelings of impending doom. You don't actually know what's going to happen. But it's something that we exert upon ourselves. But you talk about anxiety, it's a feeling or a worry or a nervousness. And people all deal with stress quite differently. One person will stress about something which is heavily political, another person will stress about losing their sunglasses. But it's all relevant. Each time you are stressed, you're putting pressure on your body.
And you shouldn't feel like you're less of a person if you're stressing over losing sunglasses.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But the pressure is there. It doesn't matter what it is. I mean, real pressure of parent and a child is obvious. There's pressure on little ones as well. They can get very stressed about losing a toy. And let's not make light of that. I think it's important that people understand everybody deals with it differently.
Now let's talk about anxiety.
Okay. With anxiety, this feeling you have, you're placing a lot of pressure on yourself because you are building up that anxiousness through whatever it may be. And often it's something you can't actually deal with. You cannot actually change that. So often I will say, well, if you can't deal with that problem, it shouldn't be your problem. But we will still continue to worry about these things and become anxious about them.
Wow. And now depression?
Depression is what is more of a mind feeling that develops out of the stress and out of the anxiety. And depression can go to very great depths, and that's where the problems are. Because eventually somebody who's highly depressed, they cannot deal with it themselves.